Hello, my name is Ron Schillings and welcome to my shop. Thanks for checking out the first installment of my video blog. This isn't really going to be like a lot of the video blogs or podcasts you may have seen in the past, and it's a little less about woodworking and a little more about the shop itself. I myself have only been woodworking for about 2 years, and I really don't consider that enough time to build up the skill set or experience to call myself a pro. But what I do have is a blank slate. I have a shop that I'm moving into that has a minimum of shop appliances, and I have a minimum number of tools that I'm working with. So, without further ado, let's take a tour of the space. Starting with the west wall here, it's pretty bare over here. My daughter's tool bench is here, but one of the projects we'll be working on is lumber storage. As you can see, I got a pretty haphazard pile going on over here, but that's going to be one of the projects we'll work on. Going over here, not much is going to change in this corner. The entertainment area is always going to be here. I'm going to steal the TV back from inside the house, and so I'll be able to watch games out here if my wife will let me. And here's the miter saw stand that I have currently. This is actually a repurposed headboard that the previous owners left in here, and it was kind of a perfect setup for this. It is nice to a certain extent, but I am looking to do something better. Also, right here I have an awesome Ryobi router table with the Ryobi router under it, and this thing is actually the only thing in the shop that I've hurt myself on. I actually caught my finger in a bit maybe a little over a year ago, and I had to get stitches. It was pretty bad. So I really don't like using this thing, but there's some things you can't do without a router. Also, in this corner, this is the setup from the previous owners. He did a lot of automotive stuff in here, and you can still see the holes for the bench grinder that he had mounted, and I'm sure this was a great space for rebuilding carbs. Not so well set up for woodworking. We'll probably get rid of this eventually. Eventually, I'd like to get a power planer and power joiner and find some arrangement for that here. And I have my hand tools set up right here. This isn't all the hand tools I have. I have some pretty good chisels here and some beater chisels and a couple of saws. But this is my shop. This is pretty much the extent of it. And this is what the space that we're looking to improve. To go over a few of the hand tools I have a 8-piece chisel set, this being the biggest, this being the smallest. I believe this is 1.5 inches. It actually says right on the chisel, and 1/4 inch. And 8-piece ranging in size from 1.5 to 1.5 inch to 1/4 inch chisel. Also, I have these card scrapers, and it took me a while to get these. But as you can see on the two larger ones I have, I've actually worn the brand off of them. But the small one, which I hardly ever use, I don't really have a whole lot of use for this. Lynx brand is the brand name of my card scraper set, and they're actually they're so useful. I find myself saving a lot of sandpaper because of these, and I got these in a 3-piece set, and that was about 1.5 years ago, and I'd say I spent about maybe $30 on them. Let's see, also I have a tenon saw. I got this on sale at Woodcraft for $3, and I wish I'd spent more money. And this actually is a very good saw. This is a Taylor's Do-It Center Dove saw. You can see the Do-It almost. And this has actually been a really good saw. I had a little bit of cleanup to do on it. It was used when I got it, kind of a hand-me-down. And yeah, but it's been a good saw. Also, I can't remember what this is exactly. I'm pretty sure it's a number 3 smoothing plane, and it's a pretty good plane. I had a lot of trouble with the blade because this brand is actually Groves, which is Woodcraft's. It's not Woodcraft's, but it's one of the lower end models. But you can replace the blade in these and get a Hawk blade, which is an aftermarket blade, and have a handy dandy pocket knife. This is a old timer pocket knife, and it's just comes in handy every now and then. Sometimes I'll use it to mark along a straight edge for dovetails, and I keep this pretty sharp too, especially around the tip because I use that for the marking. Really need a spring for one of those marking tools, but marking tool, if you're not familiar with it, is a piece of wood maybe this long with a sharp point and a guide on it, and they usually run about $30–40, and I'm cheap. Let's see. Also, in my hand tool arsenal, I would consider my clamps to be hand tools. This is a 6-inch wood clamp, and I got these for a steel at I got these for a steel for about $3 a piece, and I bought a set of 4 of them, and they come in handy all the time. A lot of times, if I can just so this is a piece of wood, and you can swing this down to the width of the wood and clamp it down in this, and I can use my K-clamps to clamp it to the edge of my bench. I haven't had a very effective bench over the course of my woodworking career. Of course, I plan to remedy that, and this will pretty effectively make on short pieces. You can use it to cut dovetails, to steady the workpiece or hold the workpiece, and also if you're jointing with a joiner plane, which I don't have, you can clamp a couple of these down for long pieces and joint the edge. And also in my clamp arsenal, I have two of these Jorgensen clamps, and these are great clamps. If I only had to choose, if I could only choose one kind of clamp to use in my shop, this would be the one, because it's got a really strong bite to it, and it holds very well. And I've actually got the I forget how many inches this is, but it'll hold it'll clamp a 4-foot panel very easily. And that's pretty much my hand tool arsenal. Of course, I have hammers. I have a rubber mallet that I use in my tools because I haven't found the time to make a wooden mallet yet, but that'll be one of our projects. And that's pretty much it. And of course, I mentioned before, or I may not have, I've been working on the house for pretty much the past year, and I have a lot of hand tools that I use to work on the house, and one of them is this is a square, and this is pretty handy all the way around. I use it a lot. I also have a smaller $15 square, which I can never seem to find. So this gets used more often than not. And also up on the wall, I have a big carpenter square. Looks like a big L. And that's pretty much the most mentionable woodworking tools that I can find at the moment. Let's move on to the table saw.